Ain't it?
It's time to bring up our guest.
Oh God! All right, go ahead, give us that introduction, man. Who we interviewing today?
Our special guest is, let's do a drum roll, please. It's a big one we got right here.
Listen, it was hard getting this person here.
Right, it was real hard.
Listen,
she be trying to act shy like she don't want to be on camera. But we gonna get some juicy stuff out of her today. Her name is Natay Thompson, and she is the co-founder of True Star Media, where we are here right now. And she is a Chicago-based social entrepreneur, and like I said, co-founder of True Star Media, where we are currently. And alongside Deanna Sherman, she has built True Star Media into a social enterprise, if you will. They launched in 2004 with the goal of giving young people opportunities to tell their own stories. And we just turned 21. Gary isn't 21 yet, but he's on the way.
One day.
Next month.
Just turned 21 today, actually. Today is True Star Day. And what started out as a newsletter has evolved into journalism programs, photography, podcasting, video editing, graphic design, production, anything media, we do it. We also do consultations for small businesses, but that'll be in the description. Natay is our chief financial officer, our CFO, but before she took the leap of entrepreneurship, she balanced working in the community at the Chicago Park District and corporate, where she worked in advertising. And we glad that she left her corporate job, because without her, we would not be here right now on these state-of-the-art cameras and at this podcast right now. So we are so happy and grateful to welcome Natay Thompson to the set of From the Go.
All right, y'all. She got a hop.
She broke her ankle a couple months ago, y'all. So on this Chicago ice, y'all know it get cold out here.
Be careful. Look.
She got it. She got it.
Come on now.
You got it.
There we go.
Woo! How you feeling today?
That deserves another round of applause.
That was her. That was her.
No jokes. No jokes.
What do you mean?
We don't got no
Talk about it now.
It wasn't funny when it first happened.
It wasn't funny.
But
I was like, ooh.
Scary.
Yeah. She got on 2 real shoes again today, y'all.
2 real shoes. No more boots. Let's clap it up for that.
Listen, clap it up for that.
Oh God.
It is.
Real
I like your
big
shoes
deal.
too. If y'all ain't see them, she rocking New Balances today.
The New Balance.
Yeah, but they're like 2 sizes too big because my foot keeps swelling up.
So do you get
I'm
2
so
different
mad.
sizes now, or do you just?
This is the only one that I purchased. All my other shoes, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait because I'm not finna buy a bunch of shoes that I'm not gonna be able to fit.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm mad because I like my ones and I can't wear my
she like
ones.
ones.
Oh my God, I'm so
Can you not
mad.
put your ones on though? Because you don't lace them up, do you?
I don't, but I did try to put on my Dunks, and it was still a little too fitted. So I got a little bit longer, I think.
You got it.
It's okay. We happy that you're here today, though, to talk to us and drop some.
And I
gems
heard
on
the
us.
jabs about trying to get me here.
Y'all, we've been trying to get Natay on since we started.
We just happy you on the couch, man. We happy you on the couch.
No, for real, I had a big boot on.
Right.
Then it would have been
Before
real
that, she didn't
jokes.
want to get on the show anyway.
I don't think there was.
She was like, "Oh, I broke my ankle. Perfect."
Right.
Let me go find the ice
She
and
didn't want to
slide.
get on the show so bad she broke her ankle on 2 different spots. Bro.
That's crazy.
She said, "Hey,
Just so she didn't have to come
Just
on
so she
set.
didn't have to
Just so.
Hey, it be like that, man. We happy to have you, though.
Sorry.
Thank you for
Very
being
happy
here.
to
Set
have
me up, man.
Did you pierce the ear?
Yes.
Oh, you missed
Gary
it.
got his ears.
Oh
pierced
my
by that
God.
razor.
Yesterday from me in the middle of
Kennedy.
the
That is
Number.
insane.
It's actually
right
still-
after Rise when everybody left. I literally Gary pulled out his.
They're not green. That works. Okay. Like
I ain't gonna lie.
They was good.
They were red at first, but it's gotten better.
I ain't gonna lie, I might have an infection though. I might.
Why you say that?
I'm
Is it
being a
itching?
professional.
I might have an infection. I don't know. It's just still hurt. You know what I'm saying?
That-
It's supposed to hurt. You got a hole in your.
You have a whole. It's gonna
We'll
hurt for
check
a
back
couple of
in on
days.
Monday to make sure it's not. If it's
No,
still
it's gonna
on
hurt for
Monday,
a couple of days.
That's gonna be 3 days at that point.
I'm gonna be okay.
Do you have the solution to
but for
clean
real,
it?
yeah, I cleaned
Okay.
it yesterday. Everything cool. You know what I'm saying? Piercings are safe.
Stop touching it.
Oh.
Yeah, don't touch it. Make sure you wash your hands before you.
Because then
touch
you will
it.
have an
You
infection.
will have
Okay.
infection.
Yep. All right. Bet. So I ain't gonna touch it. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Everything gonna be cool. Cooler $7 self piercing kit at the beauty supply. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go to Clear and spend all that
No,
money.
but that's
Get
the
it
same.
how you
so
live.
it wasn't the $7 was the earring, but the set that's the same set Claire's used, which is how I knew about it. Like Claire's used the same little clamp thing, and that's all they do. So you paying for a high schooler to pierce your daughter's your 6
High
daughter's
schooler.
ear. No, I'm so serious.
Didn't
that's
Claire's
for real.
closed though?
No, they still at the malls.
I
Like
thought they
them be high school kids piercing y'all babies' ears, and y'all could do that at home. And
See,
I need somebody
I'm
to
a
sue.
success story.
I need somebody to sue if it get messed up.
but
Okay,
you
see,
really
yeah.
can't sue them because you signed that waiver.
You're right.
And that waiver, it tells you that they're not professional.
They pierced the wrong way.
So just go
It's
to the
not.
doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Don't they
Doc-
still
no.
pierce at the doctor?
So
They
that's
used
how I
to.
got my ears
Yeah.
pierced. That's how I got my
Go to a
ears pierced when I
piercing
was
studio,
younger.
I thought.
But they don't do that.
They don't do
Some
it anymore.
pediatricians do it, but some people don't. A lot of them don't do it. Only the
Oh.
old school pediatricians do it.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, well, let's get
Well, I
on
got
track with
mine
our
pierced by
questions.
Go ahead.
Let's, right, we getting off track,
Nah,
y'all.
that's
I know, like, what are we talking
We
about?
just wanna go
We talking about
chilling.
ear piercings.
We
See how we
just
get off
chilling.
track?
Go ahead.
See how we get off track?
It's-
All right, so we want to talk about, like I said in your intro, you went from corporate to starting True Star. Apparently, the story, Deanna tells this story so much, but she calls you one day randomly. She saw the cool work you were doing in Chicago Park District, and she calls you randomly and was like, what do you think about starting this newsletter? And from that point on, y'all.
Yeah, it's reversed.
Oh, you
It's
called her?
reversed.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell that story. Look at me. This is why we need donations,
Do
y'all.
I
your- do your
remember it
research,
wrong.
Shelley.
Yeah, wait, who called?
Right, okay.
All right,
So
come on,
tell
tell
us
us
that
the
story and like how that came about. What was that moment like for you?
Okay, so I was working at the Park District, and Deanna and I saw each other a lot, just at different community events. Because at the time she had a magazine with her sister, and so we were just kind of like running past each other or whatever. And I knew what she was doing. She was doing something for young women, and an opportunity came across my desk when I was at the Park District. So I was like, let me call Deanna. So I called her and I was like, hey, what do you think about doing this journalism program? And she was kind of like, okay. And I later found out she was like, what? Who is this? Because it wasn't like we was friends. We just knew each other in passing. We would see each other. And I did an event at the Park District, and that had Common and Kanye, and she was actually there. And that's when I believe after that is when we got the opportunity came across, and that's when I reached out. And so we were kind of like, all right, let's see. So she worked on the grant. We worked on the grant, mostly her. Yeah, she did the work.
I gave her a
So she
couple words.
did the application, and we actually ended up getting it. So I was like, oh crap, we actually got to do something. now.
Right.
Yeah. So at the time, I was based at Rainbow Beach Park.
Shout out
And
Rainbow Beach.
Yeah.
That's really my stomping ground. I ain't gonna lie. Every 4th of July,
I went to Rainbow,
Rainbow
Beach,
Beach.
too.
I'm
Gary.
at Rainbow Beach every 4th of July. That's tough.
Sorry, guys, I wasn't.
So
That's
I had also worked at Jackson Park prior to that. So I was running a teen club at Jackson Park. So I reached out to a lot of the young people that was in that teen club, see if they wanted to do this little pilot program. And most of them came over and did a 10-week program. We didn't have an idea to do a magazine, a newsletter. That wasn't the plan. The young people came up with that. We just like, oh, that'll be a good idea to do a newsletter to show your parents that you actually have been going to a program, and they don't think you just out here tricking out.
Right.
So it was like a twofold newsletter, and oh my God, it was hilarious if you look at it now. But it was dope then. But looking at it now, it's like, Lord, Jesus.
Looking at a lot of y'all stuff is just like, wow. Like,
Right.
Every single magazine is just like, what?
It's like
Yeah.
to see where we came from to where we are now is amazing. But that's pretty much how it started. Just
Wow.
on the south side trying to figure it out.
Right. And so, as a CFO of True Star, you say you basically got to start with the grant, right? As a nonprofit, would you say that's where most of the money comes from? It's just like grants and like tell me about how the money operates in a nonprofit. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting because with True Star, it's a little different than your traditional nonprofit because we were really stuck on this is not going to be like a theory-based program. We want the young people to really get their hands dirty, really understand what they're doing and not learn in a class a traditional style. We wanted them to do something and see the final product so that they could be proud of. So it allowed us to do more than just write grants. We were able to go out. We had a sales and marketing program so the young people learned how to sell advertising to be able to pay for the magazine. At the time as
good.
it grew into a magazine.
Gotta bring that
to
back.
be right to be able to pay for the magazine. And it was really cool because it showed young people, like Deanna used to ask, how do you think a show like Friends, for example, at the time, they were making like $1 million an episode, which is a huge deal. I mean, $1 million is a lot of money now, but back then that was huge. Like they were getting $1 million an episode. Yeah. So her question would be like, how do you think they are able to afford to pay Jennifer Aniston $1 million per episode? Not for the season, per episode. It's 6 actors on there. And it's 20 episodes, 20 plus episodes. How you think they're able to do that? And the young people were like, I guess because my parents pay their cable bill. And it was you laugh at it and it's like, man, they just literally had no idea.
Yeah.
So that gave us the idea of we need to show them the business side and let them understand how this is a real money machine. Like this is you go into this, you can make some real money. And so that's what we did. The young people up under the leadership of Deanna learned how to do sales and marketing and how to sell advertising for us to be able to print the magazine. So to answer your question, it is a lot of grants. It's a lot of grant writing, and there's also going after individual donors who will be able to, kind of give us some of their disposable income. It's shout out to the individual donors. Need more of you. Thanks.
Yep. That was exactly right. I was like, y'all need to do
Right.
TrueStarMedia.org.
Right. Tax write-off.
501c3, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what it's really about, just building relationships, getting sponsors. We needed to diversify the budget so that we're not only dependent on grants, because at any moment a grant maker can be like, okay, we're on to something else. We're not doing journalism anymore. We're going to focus on, homelessness, or we're going to focus on violence prevention and things like that. So we have to be ready to pivot and not be in a position that if something happens, then you got to shut down. Because that's what happened a lot of times with nonprofits. They're just not ready for the grant maker to say no or to pull back. Like we were in a position where we had a state grant long time ago, and this is when Illinois was pretty much going belly up.
Okay.
And we were part of the belly up.
Mean?
They were going bankrupt.
Yeah. Oh.
They had no money. They was running out of money. It was real, right? And we were part of the belly up, and we lost that funding. And we were like, that's like a third of our budget. What in the world are we going to do? And that's when we learned, like, we have to diversify our budget and our money stream, because we don't want to be in a position again where if that happens, then we got to shut down. Because we cannot actually proceed with the organization. And it's worked so far. I always credit this to Deanna because she do vision boards, right? So she puts a vision board up at the beginning of the year, and she'll be like, I want to do this, this, and this, or whatever. And whatever she put up there, I swear, like specifically for True Star, it works. And I'd be like, dude, like you got some little sauce, like
Man,
she got
magic.
she got some dust,
manifestation.
right? She put it out there. So I'm a strong believer in that. I'm a strong believer in Deanna's dust.
I love that.
That's what's
I
up.
love how y'all hype each other up in interviews, because she said the same thing about you when she sat down. Like, y'all are each other's biggest hype man, and I love that. Like, yeah.
Tell you to go. Deanna to go. I'm like, dang, which one?
Yes.
It's both.
He said,
Right,
which
it's
one
both
is
of
it?
y'all. Like, y'all
Shout out to
compliment
y'all,
each
man.
other.
Powerful duo, man. Y'all like Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, bro. Oh, God.
I'll take that.
So I have a question concerning our last segment was, young man wants to start a business, whatever, wants to step out on faith. What would give him one piece of advice, or anybody one piece of advice that's like, do they take that leap of faith, or do they do what's comfortable and what's like the oil machine?
I think it depends on your threshold. Like for me specifically, and I think I speak for Deanna as well, we weren't married, we didn't have children, we didn't have anyone dependent on us at the time. So it was kind of like, this is when we got to do it.
Yeah.
And if we go, it was kind of like divine order. It just kind of happened. We never sat down and said, okay, this is our plan. This is a strategic plan. We didn't do a business plan probably until like 7 years in.
Wow.
Like that's horrible advice.
Right, but it's real, though.
But it's real.
It's
It's
real. You
legit
just gotta
because
do it.
we were kind of like tinkering around. Like she was still working a full-time job. I was still working a full-time job. We didn't know that it was going to turn into this thing where we would be able to quit our jobs and do this full time. Because it's scary, you know, and then at the point where, you know, you do have children and you do have a mortgage and car notes and things like that, you got to, you know, move a little differently because you need to make sure that you're secure to not have to go back home to live with your parents, you know, and to be able to sustain. So it was a very long process. I don't think I left my full-time job until Deanna's first daughter, London, was born.
Wow.
So London is 13. So that's when she got pregnant. I was like, okay, so I got to leave my job so that Deanna can have her time with her baby, because when I had my son, I was able to do the same. So it's kind of like what you said, you know, we, you know, kind of got each other's backs or whatever. But I was like, okay, let me go ahead. Let me breathe, let me breathe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's scary. I would say go for it just because I've done it and it's worked out in my favor. And it doesn't always work out in your favor, but you also got to be ready to pivot, because if that don't work, something else can work. And if that don't work, something else can work. Because I'm not about going to a 9-to-5 that you hate. Like, that's hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you spend the majority of your day at work. So if you hate being at work, that's trash. So been there, done that. And even when you mentioned I worked in corporate, I worked in advertising. That's what I went to school for. So I get this job. I'm working downtown, John Hancock Building, got the parking space, got the insurance, got the, you know,
got all the
benefits.
benefits.
I got the benefits. I'm, you know, ready on my track, my upward mobility. And I was like, dude, I am not happy. Like, it was cool. I knew what to do. I knew what I was doing, and I was meeting a lot of people and things, but I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. And I was like, I'm going to go back and work for the Park District, because I worked for the Park District while I was finishing school. And I was like, I'm going to go back and work for the Park District because I love jumping double dutch every day, acting like I could play basketball. You know, I just love that, the youth feeling. And I was like, that's where I want to be. I just got to figure out how I'm going to make money, you know, doing my passion, working with young people. So I went back to the Park District. Eventually, they gave me a full-time position because I was part-time. They gave me a full-time position, and then shortly after, I met Deanna. That's why it says all divine order, because I had left the park. So I wouldn't even have met her if it wasn't for me working at the park. Although it's very weird because she went to Whitney Young, I went to Morgan Park. And we knew a lot of the same people, but we had never met each other. Like, I went to high school with her high school boyfriend, but had never met her. It was strange, like how small the world is. And it's like, oh, you know such and such, you know such and such. So that's how it turned out.
Movie.
It is, literally, it definitely is. But the advice I would give that young man is to go for it. You know, especially if he's in a position where, you know, he is at home and he doesn't have a lot of like financial responsibility. But if he does have financial responsibility, you know, he might have to take it even slower so that he can be in a comfortable space to be able to take that leap. And not have to, you know, like if he got 6 months saved up or whatever, and he can spend that time focusing on that thing that he wants to do.
On God. See, amazing gems. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm getting
Not
so
on God.
much.
That man love putting it on God.
Right.
That was an amazing dream.
My Christian homie gonna get me, man. My Christian homie gonna get me.
I want to ask you a follow-up question about that though. Like, I didn't know that you were working your full-time job 7 years into you were doing True Start. So how did you balance, like,
That's Sully's favorite question.
like, I'm just, because like we all, True Start produces entrepreneurs. Like, we all have our own thing going on the side, and that's something that I'm personally struggling with right now, is like balancing my own thing versus True Start. So how'd you do it?
Magic.
It was right.
Deanna does.
I would say I did not sleep a lot.
Okay. That's real.
I didn't, but while I was working, I was blessed to work at I was working with the Chicago Public Schools.
Okay.
And I wasn't working directly with young people, but the department that I was in was working with young people. So I would work with putting together these huge academic competitions.
Okay.
And the person who was my direct report was Sylvia Nelson Jordan. And
Doesn't she put together the Chicago Classic?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know
So
that name.
and she knows everybody on earth, right? So I use that time like, okay, I'm gonna soak up all the knowledge that I can, and this is what I did with every position, everything that I did. I always soaked up all the knowledge that I could. I'm working extra hours, I'm volunteering, I'm doing whatever, so that I can eventually put myself in a position to be able to be Sylvia. Or be that person.
Listen, and Tay does have the connects everywhere. Like,
So luckily, because I work for her and she's also a mom, my son was very young at the time. So she understood the value of having time with your kids. She also understood how True Star was my baby as well. And while me and her might be emailing back and forth at 3 or 4 in the morning, I wouldn't necessarily have to report to the office till 10, 11 because we working on what, she wasn't like real strict on, you got to work 9 to 5, and it was a lot of flexibility. So the flexibility allowed me to be able to still do both. But even with me doing both, Deanna was taking on a lot more than I was because I was doing the full time. So I was doing full time because at the time my son was little, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not ready. I was like, double dutch, jumping in, jumping out.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while to get to that point. And when Deanna was pregnant, I was like, okay, I just got to do it. And I was leaning, I knew it was coming. I was like, I'm going to have to do it. I had even talked to Sylvia, like, I'm going to need to be, stepping away. I'll still volunteer. I'll still help when I can, just because she was so supportive to me. I didn't want to just kind of leave her hanging or whatever.
Right.
And to this day, I still volunteer for academic decathlon because of the relationship that, I developed with her. And, but yeah, I was just blessed to be able to work in that type of environment, to have flexibility, to not have to be like, okay, I'm at this job 9 to 5 and I can only do what I'm doing 9 to 5. But it just, I don't know, I just been maneuvering and finding my place in these different blessed opportunities.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It was hard. It definitely was extremely hard because, I had a kid, I had a husband, I had this job, I got True Star, and I'm just like, something got to give. Like I can't just keep running like this. So, thanks for London being born, because I might have still been sitting there a little bit longer, like, oh, I'm scared. But I was kind of like forced, like I got to do this, or True Star can potentially suffer because I can't dedicate 100%.
Yeah.
So
It's all about flexibility. Go ahead.
it is. Speaking of flexibility, speaking of double dutch, what y'all also don't know is that Tay love to dance and can dance. Where and when did this love for dance come out? Show us that.
Right. Look, she added that last party in
Look
real
at
smooth. Show us.
Hey, Natay danced
Show us
enough
what you
at Rising. Y'all should have been at True Star Rising if y'all want to see
Man,
Natay
we got
dance.
a dance party yesterday after the
She was dancing with
fundraiser.
one leg.
With one leg.
Hey, but hey, she was hitting it though.
It's weird because I'm actually like super shy. I'm an introvert. Like I don't like people, but I'm always around people. It's
Tight.
very weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I was younger, when I was little, I used to watch every video. Me and my friend Jamila, we used to know every video dance. All the video dances.
What was
So
the songs out at that time? Like,
at the time, it was this thing called Jukebox, right? And you could order, you could call in. It's a video show, right? You could call in and dial what video you wanted, and it'll come up in like 5-10
TV?
minutes. Yeah, I got in so much trouble because it cost my mother so much money. The phone bill was
It's the
insane.
fact that I really never heard of that.
It was called Jukebox.
I'm like,
And
That sound
it's
innovative.
kind of like
Right.
it was like an on-demand videos 24/7. And if you like, I would always order TLC, baby, 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 and I would order anything TLC, and then she would order. And it was weird because everybody didn't see the same video. So if you didn't live in the same neighborhood, your video channel was different.
oh,
wow,
It
that's
was
different.
it was
But
weird.
that's actually good because imagine everybody waiting on their song. to come
Exactly.
out.
Right,
It
at
would
the
take
same
too
time.
long.
You up north, and I'm like,
Yeah,
bro.
they probably got
Right.
different call centers for the region.
So
fire.
we would like do we knew all the video dances. So then when we would go out and the songs would come on,
You already knew it.
We would
ready.
do it. So like I don't drink or smoke. So when I go to the club, the only thing I was gonna do was dance. Cause what else are you gonna do?
Man, I can't
Cause
wait to hit the
I'm not
club.
going to the bar.
I can't wait to hit the club to dance. Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to the bar
dance,
because I don't
Gary.
drink.
You saw me? Oh God.
No, for real.
Really?
So
I'm
that
with you.
that was my fun.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like the first one on the floor, and I'm the last one to leave. And I just always
nothing else
had, I just always had a good time. And then when I had a kid, at first I was worried. I was like, this boy ain't got no rhythm. Jesus, he sucks. And then all of a sudden, he was tap dancing when he was 4, and then he started break dancing when he was 7. So then I think the musicality started to click in because I was like, dang. Because
just
me and
needed
your
some
daddy
time.
can dance. What you doing?
You telling me all this
He gonna be
time?
watching this
and,
like,
and you looking lame, but now he likes to dance, but he's super shy, so he only gonna dance for TikTok. he gonna be in the
Unless
corner.
heartbreak song come on and then
Exactly. Then he go.
Sorry,
He gonna be in
along.
his feelings.
Sorry, Jaquil. I'm sorry. I had to do that.
Hey, that boy was so hurt when you showed him his recording. That
So
boy
hurt.
sat down. He was like, wow,
So
come on,
hurt.
that's not funny, bro.
man, 17 is the worst age for heartbreaks, man. It is. You can't do nothing about it either.
Right. It's
You
just
gotta
deal with
deal
it.
He started to blush.
It's
when
a
she
rite
said
of
his name.
passage.
But
Right.
I feel you though.
That
Like,
Fantasia was getting him.
oh God, when I hit the club, man, I'm a dance, but I don't even know if you can call it dancing, man. I just be moving my body for real. Like I don't even.
But you just like naturally enjoying yourself.
Right.
You going
Right.
out for a
Saying?
good time. You
Right,
you don't have to.
exactly.
That's what.
That's what dancing is.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You don't have to
So
worry
I am
about
a
it.
dancer. Yeah.
Please don't be all that because she's saying that now, but in a second we'll look at you like you're crazy.
Right.
Like, sorry,
Watching it at home, like, look at Gary.
She's gonna record. She's gonna be like that.
Look at this clown.
All right,
So
man.
you kind of talked about. Oh, you guys.
Oh no. Go ahead.
So you kind of talked about it a little bit, but I wonder if it still is the best benefit of being a nonprofit owner or organizer. What was the best benefit of it?
What's the best part?
For me, the best part was because it allowed me the flexibility to be there every step of my son's life. I was able to pick him up from school every day, drop him off, go to the basketball, go to the tap, then go to everything that he had going on. I was there, able to be there every step of the way. And I didn't know how important that was going to be until I had him, and I was like, oh, I don't have to have a nanny or whatever.
Yes.
It's like sometimes I really like, Mom, come get this boy. Like we need a break. But
Yeah.
I think for me that's the biggest benefit, being able to be there for him. And then after that is ultimately it's the flexibility of not having to report to somebody and when I mess up on anything, I don't feel like I'm about to be in trouble. I'll be like blaming myself and like yelling at myself, but it's not like this boss like harboring over me or whatever.
Right.
I mean, when I was younger, I was always like, I want to work for myself. I don't want to ultimately end up working for someone, which is why I think it's important what we do at True Star with everybody having their own things going on. Like we want everybody to fly. Like you're welcome to stay at True Star, but that's not what it's about. We want y'all to go and be your best selves. And it doesn't mean you have to be an entrepreneur. If you are happy in corporate or, whatever, if you're going to work for a film company or whatever it is, if that's what you want to do, we just want you to be confident to do it.
Yes.
And even if it's being an entrepreneur, just understand that there's struggles no matter what you do, what field you decide to go in.
Yeah, you got to choose your heart.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
That's
And
fire.
Talk about entrepreneurship. I want to ask a follow-up question to what Kennedy was saying. So when it comes to the skills of being an entrepreneur, you have to be able to pitch yourself, right? And something that I hear a lot about sales is that people buy people, whether it's fundraising, whether it's like actually selling a product. If they like you as a person, there's going to be invested in whatever you do. So what would you say the number one tip is to being able to build genuine relationships? Because you've had a lot of relationships. Like you said, you were at the Chicago Park District. You had Kanye, Common. Like you clearly had these big relationships. What were the key steps that you took to being able to foster like these genuine relationships with them instead of, coming out the gate asking for something? It's like, how did you do that?
For me, I would say, great question, because I'm an introvert, like I said. So I don't want to ask anybody for anything, because then if you say no, then I got to be mad. I ain't gonna like you no more.
Oh my
Then
God.
I gotta be mad.
I'm gonna be mad. Like, I can't just like let that ride. Like,
Yes.
what you mean no?
Me no.
Literally take it
What are you
personal
talking
every
about?
time. Yes.
But being able to take the no's, that comes with time. But I would say, like, when I was in college, I went to Columbia here in Chicago.
Hey, shout out Columbia.
And because it's such a creative school, you meet so many different types of people. And I met people from all walks of life. They were in music and film and theater and business. And it was so intriguing to me, because when I graduated from high school, I was 17. And I didn't want to go to college. I legit was like, I went to college because I had nothing. I was like, what else I'm going to do? I don't know what I want to do. So I'll go to college and maybe I can figure it out. And I had to be okay with that, because, a lot of my friends was like, just going to school or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to go, I guess. But it was so not like, oh, I'm going to college. And it wasn't that.
Right.
But
It's overrated.
I really felt like that. But when I stepped foot into Columbia, I was so excited that I went there, because it was filled with so many creative gems. And I feel like I was mad at the time because my mother wouldn't let me go away to school. So that's how I ended up staying in Chicago. She still will never hear the end of this, because she'd be like, well, it worked out for you, didn't it? And I'm like, dude, like, I didn't even want to go far. I just wanted to go downstate. But I know if I did, then my life wouldn't have turned the way, wouldn't have landed this way. But when I was at Columbia, I was able to network with so many different types of people, and we were all, on level playing field. And I met so many people, and it just got interested. I would just go to volunteering and doing all these events and doing internships and this and that. And me and my friend Danielle, she went to Columbia with me. She's actually my son's godmother. We would just we became the two girl. I was a tall chick with the puff, and she was a short bald hair girl. She wear no, not like that. No, she cut her hair.
Oh, she cut her hair. Okay, it was intentional.
Intentionally.
Okay,
No.
It was intentional. Let's cover
she
that
wears
up.
an intentional bald hair.
Crazy.
No, but Danielle
All right.
was like, she was like crazy. Like, everybody wanted Danielle to work with her, and we kind of like tag team on a lot of stuff. And just because of the professionalism that we had behind us working for free, people were like, man, if we gave them a budget, if we actually paid them, we'd probably get like the world, because they doing this for free. So we weren't too concerned with the money aspect at the time, because we were still young. But we were just trying to get all the experience and meet all these people. And that's when you started meeting like executives and people who can move and shape. And I didn't do, me personally and Danielle, but we didn't do anything intentional. It wasn't like a set, like, this is how we gonna make this work.
Right.
We were just being our authentic selves. So even though I don't necessarily like people, I know, and it wasn't even a code switch. I don't code switch well. But it wasn't a code switch. I was just being myself. And because they saw my work and the dedication I would put into something for free, that became my reputation. Like, if you work with Nate, you're gonna get, quality work.
Yes.
And so I took pride in that. And that's how it happened. And I just got blessed to be put in these different circles and move. And, that's how I ended up working at Vibe magazine in New York. And like Kennard was saying yesterday, I knew him because I worked at Vibe. And he was, here at Vibe in Chicago. So just meeting those type of people and having that type of network, that helped me be able to maneuver. So I would just say it was just me just being myself. I didn't change up. I put my big girl pants on, even though I didn't really want to. Like, I get nervous and don't want to go and present. And because number one, I don't want you to say no.
Yeah.
I go in there like, you gotta support, you gotta do whatever it is that I'm pitching. You gotta hire me for that job, or hire True Star for whatever. And just give it my best shot. And if it's a no, I don't look at it as no. I look at it as not right now.
All right.
Wow.
That's
That's actually fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. I'm like
That's actually-
taking everything
I'm
in.
just like zoning, like
Yes.
I'm actually
wait till
thinking
I
it's
switch
crazy.
back.
I don't say it a lot, but you know, I do miss Columbia a little bit just because of that. Just because of that aspect.
That
you know,
networking
that
is
networking is like
crazy.
it's actually really real. Like
The professors there.
they're like industry professionals. Like they're not just teachers. They like actually work in the field. You know, fun facts, little story. I met one of my teachers, like professors, on set before. You know, I was working on a set of Chicago PD. I was a PA, you know, and then on the set I met one of my professors. I was like, "Oh, what's up?" We dapped up, you know what I'm saying? We had a conversation, you know. So it was actually like really interesting to see like make meaningful connections like that, you know. So I do miss that aspect of Columbia, but I think I can make meaningful connections without it. But
You can't. I mean, but even if you're not physically a student at Columbia,
Right.
you can still
great.
network with
Instagram
Columbia.
exists.
Like half of the people when I was at Columbia, they ain't go there. Like it was people up in Columbia and they would be at the Hoken or you know whatever. It's like you are not a student, but they were getting some of the same benefits because it wasn't like Columbia was holding stuff hostage.
Right.
And I think it was. If I had to be in school, Columbia was a great place for me to be since I didn't want to go to college.
Right.
And it just opened my eyes to so many different things on what I could do. So
Dang,
Wow.
Nate, you low key my twin, man. You low key my twin. 'Cause I really didn't want to go to college either. You know, fun fact: Columbia and Art Institute is the only schools I applied to. Like,
Really?
Yes, I did not apply to any like universities. Like, I just didn't. I didn't want to go to college for real. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah. So that was it. Real quick.
wrap it up, B.
He came over here and told me.
Because I know if I interrupt you, Gary, you're going to crash out. So I'm just like, I might as well just let him
let it
finish
ride.
out.
That was it. We
It wasn't it. He was about to tell the whole
I don't even know
story
what I was saying.
on how he tried something in his dorm.
It's too much going on today. Everything to fill out.
We're going to play a quick game.
Okay.
All right. Quick game. Quick little Chicago trivia game.
Production
All right.
about to get mad. Go
All
ahead.
right. If you get it wrong, you out. All right. I'm going to go down the line. I'm going to start with Tay.
Okay.
And if y'all get it wrong, you out. If you get it right, you win today. Okay. All right. I bet.
You good?
Chicago trivia questions. Let me go ahead and. All right.
Are you Googling this now?
right now?
Bro.
Oh my God.
Enough. Gary,
We
the
talked
second
about this
time.
last week, bro.
Chicago trivia quiz right here. I got y'all. All right.
This is why
I
we
bet.
need funding.
This.
Right.
Link in the description
Listen.
to donate.
The.
Cash App, Venmo, Bank of America, Zelle, Chase,
Check.
Listen.
Wells Fargo.
Listen, y'all the ones holding it up. All right, Nate. The second most populated county in the United States after
Oh,
Los
my God.
Angeles County.
God. No game this
Hold on,
week, y'all.
listen. The city of Chicago can be found in which county? Is it Cook County, Maricopa County, Harris County, Wayne County?
You thought this was a good question?
This is a good question. All right,
We're from Chicago. We know this.
all right. Look.
All right, here's the game.
I got a game. Look, it's right here. The question's right here. Okay, boom. The Cloud Gate sculpture known as the Beam is an iconic landmark located in which public park?
Millennium.
Got it. Boom. Oh, Millennium. You got it. Back.
Wait, what was the question?
The question, the Cloud Gate sculpture, also known as the Beam, is located in which park?
Millennium.
Millennium. You just said that because she said it.
No, I
'cause we
knew
live
that.
here.
Because I
Gary,
know that to be
I
fact.
need
Okay.
these
Drive
to be.
past that boy.
All right, boom. From 1986 to 2011, which of the celebrity talk shows was broadcasted live from Harpo Studios in Illinois?
Oprah.
Oprah, right?
Go ahead,
Saying
Oprah.
Harpo.
Harpo Studio. Oh, damn.
Oh my God.
Hey man, this is the
Literally
question I do.
Oprah backwards.
Last question.
Next week I will
Last
be doing
question,
the
last
game,
question.
guys, just to let y'all know.
Reaching 1,451 feet above ground level, how many floors tall is the Willis Tower, known as the Sears Tower? How many floors?
Now that is a good question. Is it like 90?
How many feet?
How many floors tall?
162.
No.
Why do you know that?
It's not.
I
she
just
don't know.
randomly
She
guessed.
don't know it. She don't know it. It was wrong.
Is it in the hundreds or is it 98?
You said 98. So the options are 95, 100, 105, 110.
110.
It's 110.
95. It's 110?
110.
I don't.
Yeah, it's
okay.
110.
110. Let me Google it.
You don't know? What the
Gosh.
It's
How
110.
Oh my gosh.
How many?
We need to do
wait,
some
'cause it's multiple
reevaluations.
choice. How many
And it
floors
should have a right answer. I just think you're
is
not
the
reading.
Willis Tower? It's
Right.
108. It's 108 floors.
It's 108.
That wasn't even the option.
It wasn't.
You said 110,
100.
105.
You
You
said
said 95, 100, and 1010. So I said 1010.
Hey, bro.
What
this
is
not-
1010?
Dang, that's not.
I
crazy.
wasn't gonna say nothing, but
No, she gonna call it out.
110. That's
Dang, my fault.
1010.
Oh yeah, it wasn't an option.
next week we'll have a more successful game. But for
Yeah,
now,
but
we're
this is a
so
successful game. This is
grateful.
great.
This was-
Chicago trivia.
This
They tell you
was
like the
great.
game, don't you?
Yeah, I'm from the South Side. That works.
Right. Oh God. Southside.
You knew the answers because you live here.
We all know the answers because we're.
Y'all, okay.
I didn't know that
Great.
Sears Tower joint
Oh,
though.
God,
I
see,
didn't know
look,
that.
Look, if I had better questions, it would have been wrong.
So I knew it was like over 90
Learning lesson.
something because I feel like my prom was on 98th floor on the 98th floor. So I knew it was something
Oh,
above
that's where your
that.
prom was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
then
That's
I knew it was something
nice.
above that because the little tilt thing.
That's
Oh,
fine.
yeah,
I've
I
been to
forgot
the
about
tilt.
that,
Tilt is
too.
So
actually fun.
how you
I
didn't know
never
what floor
did.
was
I
on the
was
top
too
floor, bro?
scared.
I didn't know. I got it.
You should have asked me about Chicago sports or something. Like,
Yeah, like
Derrick
Derrick
Rose.
Rose. Like she's into that.
Yeah. I was
Next
gotta catch
time we'll
the
read
trivia
the room.
quiz that I brought up. did
So when
not
we
say.
do a part 2 with you and Deanna, it would be better.
Okay.
With that being
See,
said,
y'all, hey, let me know if y'all mess with the game in the comments below, man. Just you know what I'm
Ain't that
saying?
wrong
It
with the
wasn't a
game?
game,
It's a
bro. It was
question.
Google
Huh?
questions.
Oh.
It was the question.
There
It
wasn't
was
a
a nice
game.
and quick game, Gary.
Oh, yeah,
but
on God.
Just
Bravo.
next time, the context. You just gotta
Bro.
do
Yeah.
better.
I got
And
you.
thank you so much for Nate for joining us on the setup from the goal. We
y'all
really
are so
appreciate
fun.
you being here. You dropped a lot of gems, and we hope that everybody can learn. From
I should have did this earlier.
should've.
But you would have had
No.
no. You
You
would have had
broke your
jokes about
info
my black
purpose.
boot.
They would not have judged you. It's behind the table.
Yeah, but I have to walk over here.
Nobody
You would've-
said
you
we
would've had
did
to
that.
roll
We
over
just
here.
had y'all
Right,
sitting
because
there.
I would have had to roll over here.
Oh, yeah.
But no,
Check
it's
the little
all
room.
about timing. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for coming this week. You know what I'm saying? This is actually, it works out perfect. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Shout
It's
out to
great.
you, man.
All
My
right.
twin, y'all. Oh, God. Shout
All
out
right,
to
with
you.
that all being said, thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Check out all our links in the description box. No Role Models, True Star Rising,
And the link to
Instagram,
donate.
Facebook, everything you need to know about True Star in the description box.
Yup.
Love y'all. See
What
y'all.
about
Bye.
Like, comment,
MySpace.
subscribe. Bye.
And donate.
See you later.
And donate.
Donate.
Individual donors.
Oh, God.
Donate.
Donate.
Treat it like a subscription.
Gary needs
Oh,
to learn
God.
how to research.
Oh,
Please
God.
I know how
donate
to
for
research.
Sam
Oh,
Gary.
God.
It was Google's fault. See you later.
For both of them?
You
Yes.
can find me on MySpace.
What?
Cut it.
We're taking it back to
I never even had a
2004, y'all.
Follow
2004.
She owns a digital media company, has no social media. I don't know how that works, but it does.
That's crazy. They dropped
All right,
my
That's 3 days ago?
They survived for a
It ain't
while.
been
Skype just died 2 days ago.
Skype did too.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
Skype
Skype
did
just
too.
died 2 days ago. Rest in peace, Skype.
Rest in peace. You got FaceTime. Shout out Soulja Boy.
Everybody take a moment of silence for Skype and my face. All right,
Bye, y'all.